In today's video, I want to cover some of the most common symptoms I see that are often associated with imbalanced hormones. If you don't know me, my name's Michelle. I'm a family nurse practitioner specializing in hormone balance and weight loss in particular. Um, One of the things that I see very frequently is unexplained weight gain or inability to lose weight. Like you're doing all the right things and the scale simply will not budge. Doesn't matter how little you eat or how much you exercise or any of that. A lot of your different hormones can play a role in that. And a lot of times we think of hormones as just our sex hormones, our estrogen or progesterone or whatever. But that's just a part of them. And I really wish they wouldn't even call them sex hormones because, just for estrogen, for example, has over 400 functions in our body. So there's receptors on every cell in your body. So it's kind of misrepresenting estrogen if we just think about it as a sex hormone. That's just one of them in particular. That's just extra info there. But a lot of different hormones can play a role in not being able to lose weight. Another thing I see often is fatigue and just fatigue that won't go away. Like you could have slept great last night, gotten 12 hours of sleep, and you're still dragging the next day. That type of fatigue, often that just won't go away no matter what you do, is often a sign of imbalances in your hormones. And there's a lot of different hormones. Like I said, there's estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, there's cortisol, DHEA, insulin. I mean, we have a lot of different ones, and you almost have to think of them like a symphony. And each one has a part, but they all have to work together. You don't ever just have like one thing out of whack because they are so interconnected. Another thing that I see often is just irritability, anxiety, depression. A lot of times, we're just given a SSRI, and really the root cause could be more of a hormone imbalance. Low libido, super common. Women need testosterone too, and sometimes you can have other hormones too, but that's just one that plays a big part in your libido. So that's something that I see often. It's often rooted in low testosterone in that case. Um, Not sleeping well, especially if this was me too. I wake up pretty much every night about 2 a.m., between 2 and 4, but right around that same part every night. That's just like a telltale sign that your cortisol is off. Brain fog, like I said, all your cells have receptors for all these hormones. And if those are out of balance, it definitely affects the cells we have in our brain and how we're able to think and process things. Um, Changes in your periods or worsening PMS or just changes overall in your period, especially, as you're getting closer, the average age of menopause is 51, but that process starts years before in your 40s, usually when your um, levels start really fluctuating. And that's really the worst kind of you can feel is that time period before menopause. And a lot of times that starts showing up as changes in your period. So that's a sign I often see as well. And then another one that's important to women in particular, well, guys too, actually, hair thinning or hair loss. A lot of times that's something that can be your sex hormones or oftentimes it's your thyroid. And I see this a lot. My thyroid was checked and I was told it was good. Um, Oftentimes, there's one lab the doc does for that, a TSH. And if you don't get the full thyroid panel, you can miss some abnormalities in there. And you really could have an issue and it not just show up in that one lab test. So, if you have any questions about any of that, just drop those below and I'll try to answer them for you.